Welcome to Lesson 1 in English Language Learning, Step by Step. I'm so glad you could join me today. Why the English alphabet? Why should we master that as a foundation? 4 reasons. 1, it's the building block of reading and writing. The alphabet forms the basis of all written English. Understanding the letters and their corresponding sounds is essential for decoding words, so it can help you to learn to read and write. Secondly, pronunciation and listening skills. Knowing the sounds of the alphabet helps learners pronounce words correctly and improves their listening comprehension. Thirdly, spelling and vocabulary development is so important to know the alphabet and the sounds. They can enhance these skills. And fourth, essential for learning and mastering the alphabet, it gives you confidence and it helps you to be independent. You're not always uncertain if I'm pronouncing this right. Is that the correct letter? When you build a foundation, you have independence and confidence. And that's what we want to do today. So we'll get started here. Let me go back and I'm going to share my screen. Move some of these. Annoyances out of the way. English language learning step by step. If you'll notice, my face and my mouth and my muscles are really exaggerated. Why? In English, we use our entire face, muscles, teeth, tongue, the roof of our mouth to speak. And as a beginning English language learner, you should begin to use these muscles to make them stronger, because perhaps you aren't used to doing that in your native tongue. But in English, it's very important for clarity so that you can be understood. Now, will you always have to exaggerate and move your mouth in a pronounced way? Not necessarily, because native English speakers don't do that. And sometimes we become very lazy and we can't be understood because we're not moving our mouth. So for you, get in the habit of being animated and enthusiastic about learning English and using all of these muscles in our face that will help us to pronounce words correctly. The alphabet, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. Each letter has a name and a sound. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize you, and pronounce and write all 26 letters. So let's go ahead and get started. What is the English alphabet? Again, 26 letters. They look like this. They have an uppercase or capital, and those letters will look like this. These are capital letters. The lowercase letters, or the smaller letters, we call them the little babies. They look different, but they are connected to each letter. I'll show you a chart later of how they look together. The alphabet chart, here it is. These are the capital letters, all 26, in the English alphabet. These are the lowercase letters, all 26 in the English alphabet. Now, let's look at the letter and the name. Today, we will not try to pronounce the sounds. Only we will learn today the name of the letter and its name. The letter and its name. We will learn to identify the 26 letters of the alphabet and their names. Okay? So the first letter is A, and the name of it is A. A. This is how it looks. The letter B. This is the name, B. The letter C. You can identify that letter and you'll say C. When you see this letter, you'll say D. That is the letter D. When you see this letter, E, you will pronounce it E. And maybe some of these, the way these names are spelled here, you can make a mental picture and say E when you see that. The letter F, this is its name, F. The letter G is pronounced G. H, this is an interesting way to pronounce the letter. You almost like an A. See the A here? But at the end, you're going to say H. H. When you see the letter H. Again, you can put a mental picture of this spelling in your mind if you like to remember. I is very interesting. A mental picture of a literal I that will be in someone's eye. I. The letter I is useful to remember this name that's spelled out like a literal I. J. This is the name of this letter, is J. The name of the letter next is K. K. And this is the sound of the pronunciation for that letter K. And we don't want to get the pronunciation or the sound, the sounds mixed up with the pronunciation. The letter N, this is I have some dogs in my neighborhood. Hope you don't hear them. They're barking at the mailman. Okay, the letter N. This is its name, N. The letter O. O. The letter P. P. That's its name. The letter Q. Q. That's its name, Q. The letter R. R. It actually begins with a letter sound, R, but that is the pronunciation of R. The letter S has a sound S. S, but that's the letter pronunciation. The letter T, the pronunciation is T. This is the letter. Letter U, U. The letter V, V. The letter W, when you see the letter W, that's what you'll say, W. That's his name. X, that's his name, X. Y, and Z is the final letter, Z. And as I said, this column here, we will go back and look at these sounds of the letters, but not today. We've learned the letter and the name today, and I want you to review them. In the link below of this video, request the transcript. You can request it. Spanish speakers may request an actual copy in Spanish of the video. Fill out the link below. Other speakers can fill in the information in the link below, and I will attempt to get you a copy in your native tongue, which is very important in the beginning. We won't continue to do this throughout our course, but in the beginning, we will have links to different languages. This is how that alphabet looks. And now I want you to begin to practice. And when you receive the information that you'll get from clicking on the link, it's no charge for it. You'll review and then you'll look at this alphabet. You'll review and then you'll look at the capital letters and the lowercase letters for each letter together. And for me, I've been teaching many years. I'm not going to tell you how long, many, many, many. But I found that students, when they learn them together, it's better. So this is the letter A. A. Remember how that looked when we were going over it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Remember? I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This is your homework. Go over this alphabet, 26 letters, until you know them backwards and forward. So I can point at any letter, and you can say, that's the name. This is W, that's K, that's D, that's H. That's what I want you to do. Practice. Give yourself 15 minutes a day at the minimum to practice, but make it fun. Download these lessons and have them with you. I know you're busy people. I am too. We all work and we have other responsibilities. But learning a language takes dedication, and I know you can do it. And I'll see you. I'm going to stop sharing right now. But I'm so glad that you joined today for the first lesson. To me, the most important lesson, as far as I'm concerned, basic English and the English alphabet. Learning the sounds will come up next. But remember, lesson 1 was the alphabet and the names of the letters. And remember to click on the video below and get your information free and review it. And when we begin the second lesson, you won't have any problem keeping up. So have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me.